Henry Cavill's time as Superman may be over, however his character still existed in the Flash film, but was supposed to have a much bigger part to play in the film's ending. Hey everyone, welcome back to our movie news. Now, The Flash has just been released in theatres and DC fans have a lot of questions. As soon as I left that theatre, I felt that the ending to the movie felt out of place, and that's because it was not supposed to be that way. Now, before we go any further, I do need to warn you that this video will contain spoilers for the Flash movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to go check it out in theaters and then come back to this video. Now, to get to the ending of the movie, we need to work out where was Superman throughout the film. Now, that may seem like a silly question, bearing in mind we see him at the beginning of the film in Guatemala dealing with a volcano, but it is important to the ending of the film. So with Superman being in Guatemala, he is unable to help Batman take down Falcone's son. I have to say, it was a shame to not have Clark there alongside Bruce, Barry and Diana in the opening 10 minutes, as it would have shown even more of the Justice League working together. And then the next time we saw Superman was during the Speed Force scene when the Flash was running back in time. It was a badly CGI'd Superman from the Heroes Park battle in Justice League, but it was Henry Cavill's Superman. As those of you know, we then travelled the multiverse to a universe where Kal-El was killed by Zod as a baby, and it was in fact Sasha Calle's Supergirl in his place. However, by the climax of the film, we were expecting to return to our original universe. But when Barry left the courthouse, he bumped into Bruce Wayne, but not the Bruce Wayne we were expecting. Instead, we saw George Clooney's Bruce Wayne. If, like me, you felt the ending of the film didn't fit with the rest of the movie, or that it didn't feel satisfying at all, then you have a good reason to be, because that wasn't the original plan. For those who haven't been up to date with the behind-the-scenes information and drama, you would think nothing of it other than a funny cameo or simply Barry accidentally travelling to the wrong universe. However, this wasn't the original plan, nor the plan that replaced it. This was a third change to the ending of the film, and one of those endings was supposed to have Henry Cavill's Superman appear, which is why this video has been created. I left the cinema feeling quite disappointed by the ending, and knowing the previous two planned and shot endings, I have a fair reason to feel that way. Now, the first ending was shot under the old regime at Warner Brothers, as in pre-Discovery merger, run by Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich. Now, they were not fans of the DCEU as it was and wanted to erase those characters, specifically Cavill's Superman and Affleck's Batman. So the original ending of The Flash was supposed to have Sasha Calle's Supergirl and Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne meeting Barry Allen outside the court, which is what we can see from these behind-the-scenes images. There was also this split-second shot from one of the trailers showing Kara outside the courtroom saying, "Are you ready?" But obviously, it was one of the many scenes removed from the film. Keaton was to become the Nick Fury type character for the DCEU, and Supergirl was replacing Superman. Alongside this, Batman was also being replaced by Batgirl. And then the merger with Discovery happened and a new regime came in. Amala Abdi and Michael DeLuca temporarily took over from Walter Hamada to help run DC. During this time, Warner Bros. Discovery decided that the Batgirl film was not good enough to release to the public, so decided to scrap the film. Batgirl was also going to be set after The Flash and was going to have Keaton take Batgirl under his wing in the new DCEU. But all of that changed when Discovery came in and Abdi and DeLuca pushed forward with what they thought was best for DC. Their first call of action was bringing back Henry Cavill for Black Adam, and when shooting that scene, they shot an extra scene for The Flash. This is where it gets interesting. The rumoured end credit scene would have included Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot setting up future projects for both of them. Now, I am unsure if they would have been accompanied by Supergirl and Keaton's Bruce Wayne in that specific scene, but they would have been in the same universe as one another. I also know that Cavill and Gadot both shot scenes to set up a new storyline for both characters. They also shot an extra post-credit scene of Ben Affleck's Batman being trapped in some form of nightmare world, with Affleck asking Barry to help find him. Affleck has stated recently that he wanted to continue playing Batman after the Flash film film in a recent podcast, even shooting a scene for Aquaman 2. But James Gunn and Peter Safran had different plans. So DeLuca and Abdy didn't want to get rid of Affleck or Cavill and didn't want to reboot the universe. Instead, they wanted to set up brand new storylines for those characters. They wanted to rebuild the DCEU. And that is what The Flash's ending was going to be under Abdy and DeLuca until James Gunn and Peter Safran took over. Once they were in charge, they gave notes to all the upcoming DC films as to what they should keep, change, or remove. And within that came change to the Flash film. Now, I'm sure there were a few adjustments made to the rest of the film because of their hiring, but the biggest one of all is the ending of the movie. The final cut of the movie has removed Keaton's Bruce Wayne, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, Cavill's Superman, Godot's Wonder Woman, and Ben Affleck's Batman, and instead replaced them all with George Clooney's Bruce Wayne. Now, I don't know about you, but to me that was a huge downgrade. I thought Walter Hamada's ending was poor, and I thought Abdy and DeLuca's changes were a huge upgrade, and then I think Gunn's changes were a huge downgrade. Now, I know Gunn removed those scenes to not set up any false promises they couldn't keep, as putting in scenes that were setting up futures that weren't going to happen anymore as they were rebooting the universe could have been counterproductive to the success of their new universe. However, I think the ending they decided to go with was lazy and disrespectful. They put hardly any thought into it and actually damaged Andy Muschietti's film. It became a cheap joke instead of making fans excited for what's next, or at least a good goodbye. It was a throwaway last-minute decision that I feel harmed the ending big time. So the question is, are you happy with the ending we got, or do you think they shouldn't have changed it? And if so, which ending should they have kept? Hamada's or DeLuca's and Abdy's? Let me know in the comments below. I think the biggest problem with this whole conversation is that all three parties tampered with Andy Muschietti's film. All had different motives and they all made changes to his film. So no matter which of the three endings we got, none were going to be Muschietti's ending. I know these films need to follow a larger story to feel connected and to allow fans to be excited for what happens next, but Warner Brothers are famous for micromanaging projects, and this is another one of those projects. Yes, I personally think they should have stuck with DeLuca and Abdy's ending, as it keeps my two favourite iterations of Superman and Batman, but at the end of the day, the Flash movie began as a studio movie with Hamada wanting to erase the main DCEU characters, then went to the new studio wanting to keep the main DCEU characters, and it ended with Gunn erasing the main DCEU characters. It was never designed to be a Flash movie. The studio's intentions were for the movie to move the overall universe in a different direction to the one it was currently going in. Anyway, I think that conversation is for another video entirely, so make sure to let me know what you thought of the endings to The Flash in the comments below. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. I hope to see you here again soon, so until then, have a great day. Bye!